Welcome to today's video, The Mysterious Stranger Part 3. If you are new here, please hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's get started. The stranger saw everything, went everywhere, knew everything, and never forgot. What others had to learn, he understood right away. He could describe things so well that it felt like we were there. He watched the world being created, Adam being born, Samson's strong act, Caesar's death, and even life in heaven. He also saw the people suffering in hell, and when he told the stories, it felt like we were seeing them ourselves. But he didn't seem affected by the stories. He treated them like they were just for fun. Even when we were upset by the terrible scenes in hell, he acted like it was a fake scene with toy rats and a fire. Whenever he talked about people on earth and what they did, even their most important actions, it made us feel a bit uncomfortable. The way he spoke made it seem like he didn't think much of them or their actions, almost like talking about small insects. One time, he even said plainly that he found our people interesting, even though they could be boring, ignorant, full of themselves, and had many problems. He said it calmly, not to hurt anyone's feelings, like talking about everyday things. Then he mentioned manners, saying that truth is what's polite, and manners are just a made-up idea. After that, he asked if we liked the castle. Everybody had to like the castle because it looked really nice. Satan told us to set up the cannons, have the guards with long weapons ready, and show the horse riders. Our soldiers and horses didn't look quite right though, because we weren't good at making them. Satan even joked that they were the worst he'd seen. When he brought them to life, they acted funny because their legs were different lengths. They stumbled around like they were drunk, which was pretty funny, but also a bit embarrassing. We tried to fire the cannons with dirt to make a loud noise, but they were so crooked and poorly made that they all broke and hurt some of the people operating them. Satan said we could make a storm or an earthquake if we wanted, but we should stay away to stay safe. We thought about warning the people nearby, but he told us not to bother because they didn't matter, and we could make more people later if we needed to. A big dark cloud covered the castle, and there were pretend lightning, thunder, shaking ground, strong wind, and fake rain. Everyone ran inside the castle to stay safe. The cloud got even darker, and it was hard to see the castle. There was more pretend lightning, and it looked like the castle was on fire. People ran out of the castle, scared, but Satan didn't help them when we asked. Then, with all the noise from the wind and thunder, the place where we kept explosives exploded. The ground cracked open, and the castle fell into a hole and disappeared. All the innocent people inside were gone. None of the 500 survived. We were very sad and couldn't stop crying. Satan said not to cry because those people didn't matter. But they went to hell, we said. It doesn't matter. We can make more people. We tried to make him understand, but it didn't work. He seemed like he had no feelings and couldn't get what we were feeling. He was very happy, even though this was a terrible event. He wanted us to be happy as he was, and his magic made it happen easily. He could control us without any trouble. Soon, we were dancing on that grave, and he played lovely music on a strange instrument he had with him. The music was like nothing we'd ever heard, maybe only in heaven, which he said was where it came from. It made us incredibly happy, and we couldn't stop looking at him. Our eyes showed how much we admired him, and our hearts were speaking through our sudden gaze. He even brought a heavenly dance, and it felt like we were in paradise. Then he said he had to go run an errand, but we didn't want him to leave. We held on to him and asked him to stay. He liked that and said he'd stay a little longer. We would sit down and talk a bit more. He told us that Satan was his real name, but he chose a different one, Philip Trom, to use around other people. It seemed strange for someone so powerful, but we didn't argue. His choice was final. We had seen amazing things that day, and I started thinking about telling others when I got home. But he noticed my thoughts and said, "No, these things are our secret, just for the four of us. You can try to talk about them if you want, but I'll make sure you can't reveal our secret." We felt a bit disappointed, but we couldn't change it, so we sighed. We chatted pleasantly, and he always knew what we were thinking and replied to our thoughts. I thought this was the most amazing thing he did, but he interrupted my thoughts and said, "For you, it might be amazing, but not for me. I'm not limited like humans. I don't have human weaknesses. I can understand your weaknesses because I've studied them, but I don't have any myself. My body isn't real, although it feels solid when you touch it. My clothes aren't real either. I'm a spirit. Father Peter is coming." We looked around but didn't see anyone. "He's not here yet, but you'll see him soon." "Do you know him, Satan?" "No." "Will you talk to him when he arrives?" "He's not ignorant like us, and he'd love to chat with you. Will you?" "Another time, yes, but not now. I have to go on my errand soon." "There he is now. You can see him. Just sit quietly and don't say anything." We looked up and saw Father Peter walking towards us among the chestnut trees. The three of us were sitting on the grass, and Satan sat in front of us on the path. Father Peter walked slowly, thinking to himself. He stopped a short distance away and took off his hat to wipe his face with a handkerchief. It seemed like he wanted to say something to us, but he didn't. Instead, he mumbled, "I can't figure out why I came here, but it feels like I was in my study just a minute ago. But I guess I've been walking without noticing for an hour because of these difficult times." Then he kept talking to himself and walked right through Satan, as if Satan wasn't there. We were surprised to see it happen. We almost shouted out in surprise, like you do when something unexpected happens. But something stopped us, and we stayed quiet, though our hearts were beating fast. After a while, the trees blocked Father Peter from our view, and Satan said, "Like I told you, I am just a spirit." "Yes, it's clear now," said Nicholas. "But we are not spirits. It's obvious he didn't see you, but were we invisible too?" He looked at us, but it seemed like he didn't see us. No, none of us was visible to him because I wanted it that way. We were thrilled to witness these amazing events, almost too good to be true. Satan looked just like an ordinary person, chatting with us in a friendly and charming way. It's hard to put in words how we felt. It was like a magical experience that's difficult to describe. It's similar to trying to explain music to someone who has never heard it. Satan took us back in time, making historical moments come to life before our eyes. He had seen so much in his long existence, and it was mind-boggling to imagine all his experiences. However, it also made us feel small and unimportant, like animals with short and insignificant lives. He didn't say anything to boost our pride. In fact, he talked about humans as if they were as ordinary as bricks or other everyday things. It was clear that we didn't matter much to him, one way or the other. He didn't plan to hurt our feelings. It was as if he didn't think humans were important. Once, when he talked about great kings, conquerors, poets, prophets, pirates, and beggars all in the same way. I couldn't help but ask him why he saw such a big difference between humans and himself. He seemed puzzled by my question, as if he couldn't understand why I asked it. Then he said, "The difference between a mortal and an immortal, between a cloud and a spirit." He picked up a bug crawling on a tree and asked, "What's the difference between Caesar and this?" I replied, "You can't compare things that are so different by nature and the gap between them." "You've answered your own question," he said. "Let me explain further. Man is made of dirt. I saw him being made. I'm not made of dirt. Man is a walking collection of sicknesses and very unclean. He's here today and gone tomorrow. He starts as dirt and ends as a bad smell. I belong to the powerful of the immortal, and man has something called the moral sense. You understand? He has the moral sense. That alone is a significant difference between us." He stopped there, as if that settled the matter. At that time, I didn't fully understand what the moral sense was, but I knew that we were proud of having it. When he talked about it like that, it hurt me because I thought it was something special, but he made it sound unimportant. We were all silent for a while, and I felt sad. But then Satan started chatting again, and he was so cheerful and lively that my spirits lifted once more. He told clever stories that made us laugh, like the one about Samson tying torches to foxes' tails and setting them loose in the Philistines' fields. Samson laughed so hard that he lost his balance and fell off a fence. Just thinking about that picture made Satan laugh, and we all had a wonderful time. After a while, Satan said, "I must go on my errand now." We all said, "Don't go, stay with us. You won't come back." Satan assured us, "Yes, I will come back, I promise." We asked, "When? Tonight? Tell us when." "It won't be long, you'll see. We like having you here." I like being with you, and as a sign of my affection, I'll show you something amazing. Usually, I just disappear when I leave, but this time, I live in a different way. You'll see it. He stood up, and it happened quickly. He became thinner and thinner until he looked like a soap bubble, except he kept his shape. You could see the bushes through him, just like you can see things through a soap bubble. His bubble-like form shined with bright colors, and there was a thing shaped like a window on it, which you always see on soap bubbles. Have you ever seen a soap bubble hit the ground and bounce a few times before bursting? That's what he did. He jumped up, touched the grass, bounced, floated, touched again, and so on, until he exploded with a puff sound, leaving nothing behind. It was a strange and beautiful sight. We didn't say anything but sat there, amazed and dreamy, blinking. Then Sepai spoke sadly. "I guess none of this really happened." Nicholas sighed in agreement, and I felt bad hearing them say that because I had the same fear in my mind. Then we saw Father Peter coming back, his head bowed, searching the ground. When he got close to us, he looked up, saw us, and asked, "How long have you been here, boys?" "We've been here a little while, Father." "Then it must have happened since I passed by. Maybe you can help me. Did you come up the path?" "Yes, Father." "That's good. I came the same way. I've lost my wallet. There wasn't much in it, but even a little is important to me because it's all I had. Have you seen it?" "No, Father, but would help you look for it." "That's what I was going to ask. Wait, here it is." We hadn't noticed it, but there it was, right where Satan stood when he began to disappear. Father Peter picked it up and looked surprised. "It's mine," he said, "but none of the stuff inside it. This is fat. Mine was flat. Mine was light. This is heavy." He opened it. It was full of gold coins. He let us look inside the wallet. We had never seen so much money before. All our mouths came open to say, "Satan did it," but nothing came out. There it was. You see, we couldn't tell what Satan didn't want told. He had said so himself. Father Peter asked us if we were responsible for what happened. We all laughed because it was a funny question. Even he joined in the laughter when he realized how silly it sounded. Then he asked, "Who else could have done this?" We wanted to answer, but hesitated because saying nobody would be untrue. We struggled to find the right word until I finally said, "Not a human being." The others nodded, and we kept our mouths shut. However, Father Peter disagreed and looked at us seriously. He said, "That can't be true. I passed by here a while ago, and there was no one here. But that's not the point. Someone has been here since. I don't mean to say that you saw this person, but I'm certain someone has been here. Can you honestly say you didn't see anyone?" We all replied, "We didn't see a single person." Father Peter seemed happy and began counting the money on the way. We happily knelt down to help him stack it into piles. "It's more than 1,100 ducats," he exclaimed. "Oh dear, if only it were mine. I really need it." His voice broke and his lips trembled. We reassured him, saying, "It's all yours, sir, every single coin." Father Peter said, "No, it's not mine. Only 4 ducats belong to me. The rest?" He seemed lost in thought, holding some of the coins gently in his hands, sitting on the ground with his old grey head uncovered. It was quite sad to see. Suddenly, he snapped out of his thoughts and said, "No, it's not mine. I can't explain it. I suspect someone. It might be a trick." Nicholas added, "Father Peter, except for the astrologer, you don't really have any enemies in the village, and neither does Margate. No one who dislikes you enough would risk giving you 1,100 ducats just to harm you. Can you argue with that?" Father Peter couldn't find a way to disagree with that logic. It cheered him up. He said, "But it's not mine, you see. It's not mine, no matter what." He said it with a hopeful tone, as if he secretly wished someone would disagree with him. We reassured him, saying, "It's yours, Father Peter, and we can confirm it. Right, boys?" "Yes, we can, and we'll stand by that claim." Thank you, my dear boys. You almost convinced me, indeed. If only I had about 100 ducats of it. My house is mortgaged for that amount and will have no place to live if we don't pay tomorrow. Right now, those 4 ducats are all we have. It's all yours, every bit of it, and you must accept it. You promise that everything is in order. Isn't that right, Theodore? Isn't it, Serpai? Both of us agreed, and Nicholas packed the money back into Father Peter's old wallet and made sure he took it. Father Peter said he would use 200 ducats, using his house as collateral, and invest the rest until the rightful owner claimed it. On our part, we needed to sign a document explaining how he got the money, which he could show to the villagers and prove that he did not get out of his difficulties dishonestly. Now that brings us to the end of The Mysterious Stranger Part 3. Before we move on to the vocabulary, I just wanted to mention that if anyone is interested in improving their English skills, be it conversational skills, business English, or grammar, and even beyond that, you can book lessons with me. I teach English on an online platform called Preply. I will leave my link to my profile in the description and also in the comment section. You can also just have a look at some of the reviews that I have from my current students. Let's have a look at the vocabulary. Number 1, stumbled. To stumble means to lose balance while walking. Number 2, explosives. Explosives are materials or things that can explode, like bombs. Number 3, crooked. When something is crooked, it means it's not straight. Number 4, innocent. Innocent means to not have done something wrong. Innocent is the opposite of guilty. Number 5, secret. A secret is something that is kept hidden or something that is not known by others. Number 7, sigh. To sigh means to breathe out a deep breath that can be heard because you are tired, sad, happy, or bored. Number 8, ignorant. Ignorant means having little or no knowledge or information about something. Number 9, handkerchief. A handkerchief is a small piece of cloth used for wiping the face or hands. Number 10, mind-boggling. Mind-boggling means extremely confusing or very surprising. Number 11, boost. To boost means to increase or to improve something. Number 12, conqueror. A conqueror is a winner of a war. Number 13, beggars. Beggars are people who ask for money or help because they are poor. Number 14, mortal. Mortal means being able to die. The opposite of mortal is immortal, which means if you are immortal, it means you cannot die. Number 15, errand. An errand is a short trip that you take in order to do something. Number 16, affection. Affection is a feeling of care or love for someone or something. Number 17, burst. To burst means to break into pieces. I have to mention here that with the word burst, there is a typing error. The E at the end of burst is not supposed to be there. So it's supposed to be B-U-R-S-T. So please pay attention to that. It was a typing mistake. Now, number 18, hesitate. To hesitate, it means to pause or delay in making a decision or taking action. Number 19, nod. To nod means to move the head up and down to show that you agree. Number 20, stack. To stack means to put things on top of each other. Number 21, tremble. Tremble is when your body shakes slowly because you are scared or nervous. Number 22, snap out. To snap out means to quickly recover from a state of distraction or confusion. Number 23, argue. To argue means to speak angrily to someone, telling that person that you disagree with them. Number 24, cheer up. To cheer up means to become happier or make someone feel happier. 25, confirm. To confirm means to show or say that something is true or correct. 26. Mortgage. A mortgage is a loan for buying a home. Number 27. Convince. To convince means to make someone believe or agree with something. Number 28. Mumble. Mumble means to speak in a low voice that is not clear and makes it difficult for other people to understand what you have said. Number 29. Ducat. A ducat is a gold coin that was used in most European countries in the past. Now that brings us to the end of today's video, The Mysterious Stranger Part 3. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. Also, if you are not new here, please just also hit that like button too. Like I said before, if you're interested in taking English lessons with me, I will leave the link to my profile in the description box and also in the comment section. I look forward to seeing you in my lessons. I assure you it will be fun. Thank you for watching once again. I will see you in the next video.